Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey. One introduction. It was a busy day at Utah Valley University. Many students and other people came together. They were there for a special event. A speaker was talking to a crowd of about 3,000 people. The atmosphere was lively. Everyone was listening carefully. Suddenly, a very loud noise broke the quiet. It was a sharp sound that stopped the speech. The speaker paused. For a moment, no one understood what had happened. Then the loud noise came again and a third time. It sounded like something bad. Fear quickly filled the air. People started to shout. They pushed and ran, trying to find a safe place. Chairs fell over. Bags were left behind. There was much confusion in the large hall. People did not know where to go. Parents held their children close. Friends looked for each other. The happy event turned into a scene of panic. Emergency services quickly arrived. Police cars with flashing lights came to the university. Ambulances were also there. News channels started to report on the event. Pictures and videos from the scene spread fast on the internet. This terrible event quickly caught the attention of the whole country. Many people watched the news. They wanted to know what happened and why. A well-known person was involved. The incident was very shocking. It made people feel worried and sad. Everyone talked about it. The nation waited for more information about the sudden violence at the university. This day became a day that many would remember. 2. The victim. The loud noise had stopped the speech. The person speaking at that moment was named Charlie Kirk. He was a very important person in American political discussions. People knew his name well. Charlie Kirk was famous for his strong conservative views. He was an activist. This means he worked hard to make people think about his political ideas. He often spoke at big events and on television. Many people knew his face and his voice. He was a key figure in the media, always sharing his thoughts on current events. His work mainly focused on conservative politics. He believed in traditional values and smaller government. He was good at talking to young people. He wanted them to be interested in politics and vote. Former President Donald Trump recognized his efforts. Mr. Trump once said that Charlie Kirk helped many young people support his political campaigns. This showed how important Charlie Kirk was in his field. On that day, Charlie Kirk was given a speech at Utah Valley University. It was a very big event. About 3,000 people had come to listen to him speak. He was there to talk about his ideas and connect with the audience. These kinds of public events were a big part of his job. He traveled a lot speaking at universities and other places across the country. He wanted to share his message widely. The shooting was not an accident. It was a targeted attack. This means someone planned to kill Charlie Kirk specifically. The shooter was on a roof high above the crowd. From there, the person fired a shot. The bullet traveled about 150 yards. It hit Charlie Kirk in the neck and he died. This terrible act caused deep shock across the entire country. People were very confused and afraid. A gruesome video of the shooting quickly appeared on social media. It showed the large crowd screaming in fear and trying to run away. This killing of a well-known political person was seen as a very serious event. It added to concerns about political violence. Everyone in the nation wanted to know who had done this and why. The search for the person responsible began immediately. 3. The search begins. After the loud noise at the university, many police cars and officers came very quickly. Agents from the FBI also arrived on the scene to help. They all started a very big search for the person responsible. This search was called a manhunt, and it spread across the whole state of Utah. Thousands of people watched the news hoping for an answer. The event had caused a lot of shock and questions. Many different police groups worked together to find the person. There were more than 20 law enforcement agencies involved in the search efforts. Authorities soon released pictures and videos of a man they believed was the suspect. These images were shown to the public. They asked everyone to look carefully and share any information they had. The videos showed a man wearing a black t-shirt. On the shirt, there was a picture of an eagle and an American flag. He also wore a baseball cap and dark sunglasses. The video showed him jumping from the roof of the university building. After that, he ran into a wooded area nearby. His face was partly hidden by his hat and glasses. Police asked the public to look at these pictures carefully and share any information they had. To encourage people to help, the authorities offered reward. They said they would give $100,000 for important information. This money was for anyone who could help them find the shooter. They needed the public's eyes and ears to solve the case. The search was not easy in the beginning. There was some confusion in the first hours. On the first day, police thought they had found the suspect. They took one person in for questioning, but after talking, they realized it was not the right person, so they let him go. Later that same day, another person was stopped and questioned. Again, it was a mistake. The second person was also released. These false leads made the search harder. The police and the FBI knew they needed the public's help to find the correct person. The massive search continued for more than 30 hours. Many officers worked tirelessly. They conducted almost 200 interviews. They followed more than 7,000 tips from people. The whole state waited for news about the person who had caused the event. 4. A father's fear. The news of the large search for the person who shot Charlie Kirk spread quickly. People all over the country saw the pictures and videos of the suspect. This was a big event, and many people watched the news closely. The police and the FBI had asked for help from everyone. They wanted anyone with information to call them. Far away in southern Utah, a father was watching the news. He saw the images of the suspect on his television screen. He saw the pictures of the man in a black t-shirt. The shirt had an eagle and an American flag on it. He watched the video of the man jumping from the roof of the university building. The man then ran into a wooded area. The suspect's face was partly hidden. He wore dark sunglasses and a baseball cap. The father felt a strange feeling. He looked at the pictures again and again. There was something familiar about the man. His heart started to beat faster. He tried to tell himself it was not true. But the more he looked, the more he felt sure he knew this person. The way the man stood, the way he moved, it was too familiar. A terrible thought came into his mind. Could this be his son? He pushed the thought away, but it came back. He felt cold all over. He thought about his son, Tyler. Tyler was 22 years old. The father tried to think of reasons why it could not be Tyler, but the image on the screen was strong. The clothes, the build, the way the man moved. It was like looking at a picture of his own son. The father felt a deep fear. He did not want to believe it. He hoped he was wrong. But the more he looked, the more the terrible truth seemed clear. This was not just a person who looked like his son. This was his son. He felt a heavy weight in his chest. What should he do? This was a very difficult moment for him. The feeling of dread grew stronger with each passing minute. He felt trapped between his love for his son and the shocking reality of the news report. He knew he had to face the truth, no matter how painful it might be. He knew he had to talk to Tyler. He had to ask. This was one of the hardest things he had ever had to do. He thought about the police, the FBI, the big search. He thought about the news reports. He knew the police were looking for this person very seriously. He took a deep breath. He walked to find his son. His mind was full of worry. He found Tyler. He looked at his son, then at the image on the screen. He had to be brave. He had to ask the question that was burning in his mind. "Tyler, is this you?" the father asked. His voice was quiet. "This looks like you." This question was not easy to ask. It was a question that could change everything. It was a question born from a father's fear and a terrible recognition. The father waited for Tyler's answer. He hoped for a simple no, but deep down, he was afraid of what he would hear. The silence in the room felt very long. His heart was pounding. He looked at Tyler's face, searching for any sign, any hint of the truth. The father's fear was now very real. 5. The confession. The father felt a deep, cold fear. For 2 days, news showed pictures of the person who shot Charlie Kirk. Now, he knew the truth. The man running from the university was his son. Tyler Robinson, 22 years old, was the suspect. With a heavy heart, the father found Tyler. His son was quiet, looking worried. The father held out a newspaper with the suspect's photo. "Tyler, is this you?" he asked, his voice shaking. "This looks like you?" Tyler looked at the picture. He did not speak for a moment. His eyes moved from the paper to his father's face. Then, slowly, he nodded. He looked down. After a quiet moment, he spoke softly. Tyler admitted to his father that he had shot Charlie Kirk. The words hit the father hard. His world seemed to stop. His own son had done this terrible thing. The father felt shock, sadness, and fear. He knew he had to do something. He looked at Tyler. "You must turn yourself in, son," he said. "It's the right thing to do." But Tyler shook his head. His face was pale. He looked scared. "I would rather kill myself than turn myself in," he told his father. His voice was firm. This statement made the father's heart ache. He saw deep despair in his son's eyes. He knew Tyler was in a very dark place. The thought of his son harming himself was unbearable. The family now faced an impossible choice. They had a terrible secret. Their son was the person the whole country searched for. He confessed to a serious crime, but he also threatened to take his own life if he went to the police. The father and other family members sat together. They talked for a long time, late into the night. It was the hardest conversation. Their minds were full of worry. On one side, they loved Tyler. They wanted to protect him and feared for his safety. On the other side, there was a need for justice. A man had died. The law had to be followed. Keeping Tyler's secret felt wrong. They felt confused and scared. The truth was very heavy. They knew the entire nation waited for answers, and their son was those answers. They knew they could not keep the secret forever. They had to act. How could they help Tyler without putting his life in danger? How could they do what was right? These questions filled their minds. Their next steps would change everything for their family forever. The struggle was deep. The path forward was unclear. 6. A call for help. After Tyler's difficult confession, his father felt a heavy burden. Tyler had admitted to the shooting. He had also said he would rather harm himself than surrender to the police. This made the situation very hard for the family. The father knew he had to act, but he wanted to help his son in the best way possible. He thought about what to do for a long time. The father decided to try and persuade Tyler. He suggested that Tyler talk to someone trusted. This person was not the police, but someone who could offer guidance. He thought of a youth pastor. This pastor worked with the Washington County Sheriff's Office. The pastor also worked with the U.S. Marshals Service. The father hoped the pastor could help Tyler understand his actions. He hoped the pastor could help Tyler make the right choice for his future. After much discussion, Tyler finally agreed to speak with the pastor. This was a very small step, but it was an important one towards a resolution. While Tyler was speaking with the pastor, the rest of the family faced another difficult decision. They carried the terrible secret. They knew who the shooter was, but Tyler was still unwilling to surrender. A family friend understood the seriousness of the situation. This friend knew that the authorities needed to know. It was an incredibly hard choice, but the friend made a brave move. The friend picked up the phone. They called the Washington County Sheriff's Office. This office was located far from the shooting scene. It was more than 3 hours away from Orem, Utah, where the event happened. The call was full of worry, but it was made. The sheriff's office listened carefully to the family friend. They understood the great importance of the information. This was not just a random tip. It was about the person everyone in the country was searching for. The Washington County Sheriff's Office acted very quickly. They did not keep the information. They knew other police agencies needed to hear it right away. They immediately passed the crucial tip. They sent it to the authorities in Utah County. This was the area where the shooting took place. Most importantly, they sent the information to the FBI. The FBI was leading the massive search across the nation. This single phone call changed everything. For many hours, the police and the FBI had searched for the suspect. They had received thousands of tips, but none had led to the shooter. The governor had even said they had no idea where the suspect had gone. Everyone was waiting for a major break in the case. This phone call from the family friend was that break. It was the most important piece of information the police had received. It gave the authorities the name of the suspect and a place to start looking. This one tip from someone very close to Tyler became the key. It meant the long nationwide manhunt was finally coming to an end. The search was almost over. 7. The clues connect. The crucial phone call from Tyler's family friend changed everything for the police. This important tip allowed investigators to connect all the different pieces of evidence they had gathered. Before this call, they had many small clues, but they did not all make sense together. Now, with the new information, everything started to fit, and many clues clearly pointed to Tyler Robinson. One very important piece of evidence came from the university's security cameras. These cameras recorded Tyler's actions before the shooting. Less than 4 hours before the big event began, Tyler arrived at Utah Valley University. The video showed him driving a gray Dodge Challenger car. He was wearing a plain maroon shirt, light-colored shorts, a black hat, and light-colored shoes. The video footage was very clear, showing his face and what he was wearing. This helped police identify him later. Tyler then went up to the roof of the university building. This was the place from where the shot was fired. After the shooting, he jumped down from the roof, but he left important evidence there. Investigators found palm impressions on the roof. These were marks left by his hands. They also found smudges that could have DNA, which is special information from a person's body. A clear shoe print was also found. These details were very important because they proved Tyler had been on the roof. Police also believed that Tyler had changed his clothes while he was on the roof, perhaps to hide his identity. Later, he changed back into the clothes he wore when he arrived. When Tyler was arrested, his clothing matched the clothes he wore in the surveillance video before the shooting. Also, a relative confirmed that Tyler owned a gray Dodge Challenger, just like the cars seen in the video. Other vital clues came from Tyler's online activity. Investigators looked at messages on a platform called Discord, which is a place where people talk online. In these messages, there were discussions about a rifle. This information was very important because a rifle was the weapon used in the shooting. These online discussions helped connect Tyler to the type of gun used. Additionally, a family dinner conversation provided even more context. Details from this talk gave the police a deeper understanding of Tyler and his plans. This conversation helped to fill in some of the missing parts of the story. All these different clues, when put together with the critical tip from his family, formed a complete picture. The video from the university cameras, the physical evidence from the roof, the online messages about a rifle, and the details from a family dinner all pointed to Tyler Robinson. The strong connection of evidence left no doubt about who the suspect was. The police now knew exactly who they were looking for and why. 8. The end of the search. After a long and hard search, Tyler Robinson was finally found. It was Thursday night around 10 o'clock when police took him. This moment ended a difficult time. The search for Tyler had lasted for more than 30 hours, making many people worried. During this time, many police officers and federal agents worked very hard across the state. They followed every possible clue trying to find the person who did the shooting. The whole community felt very worried and unsure during these hours. The very next morning on Friday, good news came. Governor Spencer Cox held a meeting with reporters. He spoke to everyone with important news. With a clear voice, he announced, "We got him." These 3 words meant that the big search was officially over. People across Utah and even the whole country heard the news. Many felt a great sense of peace knowing that the person was no longer free. The governor's announcement brought calm after much fear. Officials were quick to thank everyone who had helped. They thanked the public for their strong support. People had sent in thousands of tips and pieces of information. The FBI, a federal police group, received over 7,000 tips from citizens. This was a very large number, showing how much people cared. However, one special tip was the most important. This key information came from Tyler's own family. A brave family friend made a difficult phone call to the local police office. This call gave the important details that helped police find Tyler Robinson. The search was very big. Nearly 200 people were asked questions by police. 20 different police groups like local police and federal agents worked together. They searched wide areas looking for any sign of Tyler. A large reward of $100,000 had also been offered for help. But the family's decision to tell the police was the most important moment. It was this action that finally ended the case. Tyler's family faced a very hard choice. They loved Tyler, their son, but they knew what he had done was very wrong. His father, showing great courage, talked to his son. He asked Tyler to speak openly with a trusted youth pastor. This was a big step. Then, a family friend, understanding how serious the situation was, made the brave call to the police. This very difficult choice made by those closest to Tyler helped stop the search quickly. It showed great courage and a wish to do what is right. Their actions helped the police solve the case fast and stop more trouble. Without their brave help, the search might have continued for much longer, causing more worry for everyone. The family's difficult but right actions brought a clear and important end to a very serious event that had shocked the nation.